She's that's stunning, isn't she? I love that bunny.
Yes, that's correct.
You've done a beautiful job. Gives you days. As you said, you're rummaging around trying to find it all. Well, yeah, it's just, it was all in the unit. Just had to put it all in the unit. Yes, found it 14 in the morning. Because I knew it was there somewhere. You don't still have the price. And I couldn't really settle on Thank you. Absolutely. Always volunteering. You know what she inspires others. That's what I think is so beautiful about her story, is that she is inspirational. My husband did the renovation for the second for the extension. Yeah. And I said, very savvy lady. Yeah. Wasn't happy with the photo. Yeah, sent it back and said, I want a different one. I said, most people don't get that much say in their funeral. At one stage, when they thought they could do it, that they would get put on the list. Yeah, there was important. That's what always amazes me when people's lives, how do you put someone's life into a qualified service? Is that how it's supposed to be? No, that's how a lot of traditional services. Yeah. Sometimes go how they want to do it, especially mindful. Yeah. And building things. Really? That was the first time in 30 years.
It's amazing.
Incredible. So who's going to take a prize?
Oh yeah, I think we've got narrowed down to what, probably 4 or 5.
Yeah, I was going to say. I don't think there's one.
We need to, I think that's what the committee's job is, right? We've got that issue on the committee.
Agnes will do one person's job.
Agnes is doing this back then, right?
It's the way she agreed to fix the food she gave me.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've only been here 2 years, and I remember the first person I met on Saturday was Mick. Mick said, he came in on Monday, and I met Agnes. And she would have been 93 then, but she was asking lots of questions. She watched me playing. She gave me this unbelievable.
Big tonight. Picture. Like a driving theatre. Cinemas, whatever you call it. Well, that sounds a good word.
Usually more big. Hello?
Oh, this is actually the used one, but now it's that.
Come back to let me know. That's something for me. So you're going international.
I think we have turned up. We did most of it yesterday, except the chairs didn't. They took a shortcut through Brisbane. You heard.
I might be going over. My girlfriend I grew up first.
Right.
I might go
What time's the Broncos play? Oh, I've got a recording. 2:30. I couldn't believe the timing of it. I've been looking forward to the match ever since they announced it. I thought, oh, this is pretty good.
Sorry? In Las Vegas, the turf rolls out of the river. Put it out in the sun, and you don't shave it. It's got a roof on it.
I saw. It's going to be interesting to see how many of them go face first into the contract. Around the edge.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
My grandfather was it's a historic place.
Yeah.
Well, nine.
And then that's when they
She's had 8 in the parish.
and then he built some other places.
Here yesterday.
Brits, doesn't it? Brits.
All Sunday, day on Sunday. I'll just get him that restaurant. Who's still on? Robert? No. Right. Need a pack.
Doesn't play table tennis, thank God for that.
Yeah, we will fight for it.
got your eulogy written down.
We're going to go out and for Agnes I just want a number of pages so that reason pen on you.
Sounds like nothing's changed.
I mean, certainly understand. And I have people, I mean, even when scruffy guys, like doing up run up there, but it's you know, it's funny though. Sometimes oh, absolutely. No, not really that emotion. But when I was in college, this guy born in Oregon. So the fact that he had I mean, and she really loved me. The second time. Did you have your injections in that? No, I didn't. But you can probably say that. And I mean, even prior to COVID, when we say you get the flu, that was so it just gets watered down. Not necessarily water, it gets mutates. I mean, I remember going from getting up there, 67,000 people died in the country. And
because I came with it.
So when you said how much was the election? I was going to chop you off. I could never chop him off.
You take a stand up. What? Martin.
Martin. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Sorry. I don't know. Well, and what are you doing with yourself now? Not still tiling?
No, but a couple of years, a year and 3 months ago, probably still playing with it. You've seen our work up there last year for 7 months.
Yeah, for sure. You won't get flooded there.
Wow.
No, not unless it's the biblical one here. You better build an ark. No, I went through there on the way to Kimberley.
One, two, 2, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, 1, 2. Hey. Yeah. 1, 2.
Friday morning. I reckon if they go, they'd probably do all that. Try. Because I've still got Don Newton, and not one that I had. At least I found mine too, and they were saying that. Along with that, first time I've ever worn that. One of the early ones. And now what's the all better get? In the mid-40s, grandkids now, this one's 13. Still like 5. Haven't got Harry to train. He's the last one. Did he train Christopher? He used to train there's a reasonable paint if you're looking paint.
So you can output onto HDMI 2, it's got all these different HDMI inputs. Looks like you can switch from screen to screen. You've got 2 screens up there. Next up is the stream, it's got stream on YouTube. So it will be, let's have a Wi-Fi connection to the internet. It looks like you can take, next up is the slideshow, so that will be up there. It's probably the slideshow. So it looks like you can operate everything from that. So like I said, I have a laptop. That's like your laptop. That's my guess. Right. Laptop's just a computer, right? So that's the
Hey Martin,
which feeds into the
welcome back.
probably
Did your first game on Wednesday?
from there you can select all your photos.
Yeah.
So there'll be audio video that you can already made. Just have a look at your setup. Oh, thank you. we do video stream.
Oh, okay. Where's your focus at?
Well, just one.
You adjust it to double capacity.
Do you want that in here? If you want fully combined as ready,
That's all.
Yeah, yeah. Two. 1, 2, 3, 2. Can you hear me? Volume okay? Is this okay? Test, 1, 2, test, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 1, 2. Yeah.
I'm not sure who'll be next on the list. I'll put the names you have on the way.
I'm sure someone can tell me. It's like nice people down there. That's what it is. Remember that when it was all people, then someone started turning around, tried the other way, which was like people on the other side. You wanted that? Yes. We should. No, film
just go, can we get up? Can I go? And we'll do a quick rehearsal
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your patience. We're just waiting for a few more people. If you wouldn't mind taking the time to turn your mobile phone on silent, that'd be lovely. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jill and Ethan as they walk in to place the urn with Agnes's ashes on the memorial table, and the Gold Coast Table Tennis Association Life members will form a guard of honour. Thank you. Well, a very good afternoon. A very warm welcome to this memorial service in celebration of life for Agnes Jean Herbertson, the matriarch of the Gold Coast Table Tennis Association. Agnes crammed so much into her 94 and a half years of life. Well, we only need to look around her to see the wonderful legacy that Agnes has left us. Agnes led through her dedication as treasurer and hard work as a volunteer at every tournament or major event our club has ever held. I think we found ourselves saying, if Agnes can do it, we better help. Such was the impact of those around her. As treasurer, commencing in 1978 with a bank balance of just over $50, to when she relinquished the role with over $80,000 in savings, this of course enabled us to build stage one of our current premises. This, along with a bank loan for which Barry and Agnes would be among the guarantors to get the ball rolling. Up until then, the club was only able to play at rented premises, some substandard, where tables and equipment had to be set up and put away. Of course, Barry and Agnes would be the last to leave and the first to get there. Only long-term members would remember Agnes and her late husband Barry, who would grow plants from seed to sell at markets and garage sales. They would add $1 to the price of each plant for the Gold Coast Table Tennis Club. This reminds me of the inspirational song, "From Little Things, Big Things Grow." Agnes was honoured for her dedication to the sport with many awards, including Table Tennis Queensland 25-year Gold Volunteer Award, Table Tennis Australia 50-year award, and life membership of the Gold Coast Table Tennis, of course, in recognition of her devotion to the club. Also, we had the opportunity to name the road Herbertson Drive after the Herbertson family, which the centre is now situated on. Agnes had many interests, including travel, photography, bushwalking, and of course table tennis many times a week. She volunteered with many charities, including Endeavour Foundation, Crime Stoppers, Lifeline, House with No Steps, the Salvation Army, and Gold Coast Hospital Foundation. She loved being creative and produced a variety of crafts throughout her life. Most recently, her crochet pieces were bought by people all over the world. I would like to acknowledge Agnes's family, her daughter Jill, grandson Ethan, her late husband Barry, who we lost in 2010, her sister Evelyn, deceased, and brother Alan, deceased, sister-in-law Joy Stewart, Joy and Walter Schulz, aunt of Linda and James O'Sullivan, and David Stewart, aunt to Marie, Gabriel, and Andrew Schulz. I would now call upon Phil Caldwell to say a few words and read out the psalm. Thank you, Phil.
Good afternoon and welcome to Agnes's service, and thanks Mick. The psalm I'll read out first. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not be in want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He restores my soul. He guides me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod, your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. Surely goodness and love will follow me all the days of my life. I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. I have a letter that Agnes wrote about 3 weeks before she passed away. But I'd like to just reflect on how I met Agnes and what friendship we had over about 12 years. I came to the Tables Tennis Club in 2012. I met Lucas and he said to me, I said I wanted to join the club. He said, well, try Friday mornings first, a social morning that Agnes run every Friday. So I came along and met Agnes. There she was. I think she was 82 when I arrived here. She was in the kitchen making sandwiches, organising cakes and getting things ready for the morning, and also organising teams as well to play that competition between 24 and 30 players every Friday morning. So anyway, I joined up. I had a $15 bat I bought at Kmart. I thought it was a pretty good bat too, you know, and came here to play, and I realised my bat was pretty ordinary, but Agnes beat me in the first game. I think she beat me quite a few times really, but that's the way it went. But I went home I decided to get a bit of coaching, and I came here one Tuesday, I think it was, and they wanted me to change my game, but that couldn't happen, of course. So I went home and Dawn said, how did you go? I said, I got beat by a 90-year-old, I got beat by a 9-year-old, and I got beat by a bloke in a wheelchair. She said, you had a good day, eh? I said, yeah, it wasn't too bad at all. But anyway, going back to Agnes's story, I decided to give her a hand in the kitchen. I thought, well, poor old lady there by herself, you know, organising everything. So I decided to help her out, and she decided to go on holiday, so she left me in charge. I said, that's fair enough. So I'm organising teams, and I got my wife to do the morning tea, and so when I organised the teams, of course, we had prizes. 2 bananas to the winning team, 1 banana to the runners-up. So anyway, when I organised the teams, and I didn't realise they had a handicap each, so when I paid out the winners, it was the wrong winners, of course. When Agnes came back from holidays, she took the score sheets home and checked, and I'd done it all wrong, but lucky it's only away 2 weeks anyway. But I decided that I would donate bananas to the morning social club. But then Agnes moved over to near Sundale Bridge. She decided to rent a unit over there, and she's still driving then. She was well coming up to her 90s, I think. And anyway, she rang me one day and said, I just got home from table tennis and my side mirror's missing off my car. I said, I think you might have swiped another car or something. Oh no, it just must have fell off. But yeah, I realised she had told me later on she had a bit of a nanny nap on the way home, and did lose her side mirror. But I had a few rides with Agnes, and I liked driving in one of those cars where you go for your licence, you know, with double on both sides. I was looking for the brake every time we went to pull up, you know, because it was it wasn't an automatic, it was a manual car, you know, and she drove it pretty well. So, and Ethan's got that car today, so, and he's looking after it, I hope. You certainly are, good on you. And then, of course, Agnes decided then she'd better give up driving, so I used to pick her up on Mondays and Wednesday nights and bring her to table tennis. And we had some good chats on the way to the club and that, and formed a fond friendship. So it's something that I'll carry with me the rest of my life. Okay, I'll read a letter now from Agnes before she passed away. The letter I have asked my friend Phil to share with you today is more about my recent life than about my 50 years of volunteering. On the 18th of December 2022, I was diagnosed with terminal bowel cancer and given 3 to 6 months to live. Needless to say, it was devastating news after having lived over 90 years totally healthy. My daughter Jill moved in with me and helped to take care of me so I could stay in my unit, which is a studio unit. So we had 2 people and a cat living in a very small space. I want to thank all my friends at table tennis and elsewhere for their concern and care during my illness. Also, I'd like to mention Gina, Gabriel, who helped Agnes, took her shopping and to her doctor's appointments, and Robert Madison used to take her for drives. So the people who really cared about her. And of course, the morning table tennis now is still run, but it takes 3 people to do the job of 1. Martin Travers, Jeff Badham and Tony Irvine run the Friday morning now, that Agnes ran all by herself for many years. So I was going to say rest in peace, Agnes, but she won't be resting. She'll be up there playing table tennis today, or organising teams to play. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Phil. I'd like to call upon long-serving life member of the club, Peter Luxon, to deliver his eulogy.
Agnes was simply fabulous. Any good community would love to have someone like her. But we here at the Table Tennis Club, we were the lucky ones. She was one of us because she chose table tennis. Good choice. Agnes was simply driven to be a good community person no matter where her life would have taken her. Talking about Agnes is almost like talking about the history of the Table Tennis Club. Not quite all of it, but a good chunk of it. I first met Agnes when I was a young teenager on my first visit to the Table Tennis Club in 1973. At that time, the club was run from the old Crab Hall in Labrador, just around the corner from the Grand Hotel. Barry and Agnes, as they were then collectively known, were some of the first people that I met. With their cute little daughter Jill, they seemed to be quite prominent in the club. So I kind of assumed that they must have already been a permanent fixture in the club for years. However, I was surprised to find out only in recent years, from talking to Agnes, that they had only become members a few short months earlier. Barry and Agnes, a terminology that would be used over and over for many years to come. As soon as those words were spoken, everyone knew you were referring to the Gold Coast Table Tennis Club. They were the dynamic duo of Gold Coast table tennis. Social clubs aren't that hard to start, but to keep them going, well, that is another thing. Our club is going very well now, but there were times when it could so easily have fallen apart if it were not for Barry and Agnes. And for that reason, we owe Agnes a great debt of gratitude. I say Barry and Agnes, but maybe we should have been saying Agnes and Barry. Don't get me wrong, Barry was great. I love Barry. He was a valuable member of this club. But maybe it was Agnes who was the Batman of this dynamic duo. She was the tireless engine that just kept on going. She was just like one of those Energizer batteries. She just never stopped doing good stuff. While Barry was welcoming new players by talking their ears off, Agnes was doing the real hard work behind the scenes. She was forever the quiet achiever, and always with a happy disposition. Cake stalls, raffles, sponsorship drives. They even ran a Saturday night social tennis meet for decades, just so that our table tennis club could be the beneficiary of some extra dollars. And I am sure that there were a few couples who partnered up as a result of that social event run by Agnes and Barry. Some could be here today. I said that Agnes was like an Energizer battery. Well, she always seemed to be busy doing things, always moving about. She did a lot of walking, probably a good recipe for anyone wanting to keep fit in their later years. But you know, I never saw Agnes walk slowly. There was no mucking around with her. She was a great walker. If she could walk instead of taking the bus, she would do it. If she could walk for charity, she would do it. And sometimes just for the sheer pleasure, she would go bushwalking or participate in the Gold Coast Marathon, where I'm sure she would have left a few young people in her dust. Agnes was a doer. She wasn't interested in getting into the politics of things. She just wanted to get things done, and indeed, she did get things done. Thank you, Agnes. I have lost count of the number of times she was treasurer of the club and how many times she was consecutively voted as best, hardest worker of the Gold Coast Table Tennis Committee. Often it was virtually a foregone conclusion. All of this was long before we relocated to this clubhouse, that is, this building situated here in Herbertson Drive. And why is this street named Herbertson Drive? Well, in honour of Agnes and Barry, of course. Some of Agnes's character may have been defined by the era in which she was brought up. Born into a different world during the world stock market crash of 1929. She would have been 10 years old at the start of World War II and 16 years old when it ended. From a recent discussion I had with Agnes and picking her brains about her former years, one thing really impressed me about her. She left the security of her home as a young single woman to seek work in Sydney, a long way from home. To me, that was very brave. I imagine that would have been quite scary for such a young person. During those former years in Australia, there would have been a shortage of supplies and everyone would have had to ration food, clothing and other items very thoughtfully and carefully. Don't throw anything away if it can be repaired. Always reuse things and don't waste anything. Maybe that is why Agnes was so very frugal. In that respect, one thing I found kind of funny was that if Agnes had to give me, for example, some details of a player, instead of just writing it down on the A5 sheet, which is only half the size of a full page, she would tear off the tiniest piece of paper and give it to me. Nothing was ever wasted with Agnes. There are many trees that should be very thankful to her. I also remember her telling me that if she wanted to have a second cup of tea, sometimes she would just use the same tea bag. I hasten to add, though, that whenever I visited, she always offered me a fresh cup of tea or coffee. She never gave me a used tea bag. Agnes may have been frugal or thrifty in many ways, but she had a generous heart and was always willing to share what she had with others. But most of all, always willing to give her time to a good cause. Lucky for us, one of them was table tennis. It would have been understandable for Agnes to slow down and take it easy after the sad passing of Barry in 2010. After all, she was already into her 80s. But oh no, not Agnes. She was so determined to throw herself into a variety of charitable work, as well as running Friday morning social table tennis here at the club. Agnes was so important to us and others that she was nominated for Senior Australia of the Year. Goodness knows what they were thinking when they didn't choose her. Unfortunately, cancer is a bloody nuisance that can sometimes interrupt our longevity. The big C, as it is known. If you had asked me about Agnes a few years ago, I would have put money on her making it to 100 easily, maybe even 110. But really, when you think about it, she did all right to make it to 94 anyway. We should be thankful that we had her with us for as long as we did. And it's funny, isn't it, how people can change as they get older, and how our perceptions of those people can also change as they get older. Some ageing people can become more cantankerous and irritable. Maybe that will be me. Others can be more chill and mellow. Either is fine because ageing people have earned the right to just be themselves. However, in that respect, I don't think Agnes changed that much at all. She was pretty cool. But I have to say that from my perspective, and perhaps also from others, as Agnes got older, I found her to be a real cutie. And I think she just became more and more adorable as she got older. I would love to say that we get better looking as we get older, but unfortunately this is not true. But what is true is that people can become more attractive and beautiful to us as we progressively understand their character. Agnes was one of those people who became more beautiful. Agnes was, and always will be, a beautiful soul.
Thank you, Peter. Well said. Okay, so I believe now that we're going to have Agnes herself has a few words for us all, and it's Agnes and her favourite poem. You got that?
How far do you have to travel to leave behind the rain? Shake off winter's memory, grey clouds on a morning train. You can leave to find some warmer days in other places you have known, but you are better off by the river where the sun stays close to home.
Yes. So a good friend of Agnes and Barry is Linda O'Brien. And Linda could not be with us today because she's had recent surgery. So she wanted to present her side, or human side of Agnes. So this is what she wrote. Ladies and gentlemen, today we come together to celebrate the remarkable life of Agnes. My husband Nobby and I had a short holiday to the Gold Coast, and then we decided that this was the place to be. So we packed up and rented our home in Portland, Victoria, and headed back to Labrador in 1996. Wally Schultz, a good friend we had known in the church in Portland, gave us his sister's phone number in Southport. If you need to meet someone, they are great. Agnes and Barry are involved with table tennis. You may like to go and have a game, said Wally. After a few weeks, we phoned Agnes and Barry. They excitedly invited us to come over for a cuppa in their Luxor Street home that same afternoon. We were so warmly invited in. As we introduced ourselves to each other, and before the kettle was even boiled, Agnes got straight to the point. Now you two, where are you staying? We have rented a unit in Labrador. How long is your lease? 3 months, we said. That suits us, we can leave by then. That will do us, right, Barry? You are moving in here, said Agnes. Wally and Joy said you were good people, so that's good enough for us, they said. We were blown away, we just met them. So began our story of knowing Barry and Agnes. We stayed 12 months and looked after their home for them while they travelled, coming and going for a month at a time. Through the kindness and generosity, Nobby was able to start a new job in real estate, which was commission-based, hard to begin with, a small wage. We shared many evenings of travelling stories and great photos of their adventures. A favourite thing after dinner was to play cards, and Agnes was a fierce competitor, very skilled at winning, as anyone who has played with her will know. We've seen how passionate Agnes was with raising funds for the table tennis club, as she often spent hours setting up items for sale in garage sales. She would scrub and clean items, bring them back to their former beauty. Everything was presented well. She would tell how the club had started in a small hall, and then eventually through hard work and donations and hard-working volunteers, they saved enough to build the clubhouse. She was so proud of this space and that we are gathered in here today, so fitting to celebrate her life. Agnes loved to travel and explore new places, especially our beautiful Australian country. Agnes came to us in Alice Springs. We had moved there for work for 8 years. She was in her 80s, still so fit and agile, and as she walked off the Ghan train. We had a lovely day catching up. I asked about the Gold Coast Marathon fun run, whether she still went in it. Oh yes, but I just walked the shorter one now. But I managed to get my exercise with my table tennis. I still go 3 days a week. She often spoke of the many friends at table tennis she had and how much her life was enriched by the close-knit community. We witnessed this with her 90th birthday celebration held here. Agnes embodied resilience and passion, particularly in her love for table tennis, a sport that brought her joy and kept her fit well into her 90s. She especially spoke of Mick and his kindness to her in the past few years, being able to go out to the clubhouse even just to watch. Agnes was a caring person and volunteered at Lifeline Weekly. We'd often catch up in the Ashmore store. There she loved to categorise the many donated books. She made a beautiful library area, proudly organised in sections to make browsing easy. Everyone here today has their own testimony of how Agnes has touched their lives. We all know her as a strong, determined woman who loved life, who was passionate and committed to a family. Agnes cherished her only daughter, finding immense joy and purpose in their relationship. She was also blessed by the presence of her grandson Ethan, who shared a special bond with her. Spending precious time together, they created lasting memories. Let us remember Agnes not with sadness, but with gratitude for the love she shared, the memories she created, and the legacy she leaves behind. May her zest for life and love for her family and friends inspire us all to live our lives with purpose and joy. Linda O'Brien. Thank you, Linda. And now I'd like to welcome Linda O'Sullivan to say a few words.
Thank you, Mick. And this is my husband. This is my husband, James. We're from Rockhampton. So I'm Agnes's niece, and in your service book there is a photo of Agnes and her siblings. Her little brother Alan is my father, so we were both Stuarts. As I've grown up, it's become clear that Agnes and I have much more in common than our surname. I guess you won't be surprised to hear that one of those things is table tennis. It began back in the 70s when Barry and Agnes would come to visit my family in Rocky. It was during those visits we were introduced to their beloved sport. Like most families, we started playing on the kitchen table. It was 5 feet long, 3 feet wide, with a red Laminex top. I know because I've still got that table. We progressed to a proper table under the house, and when we thought we were pretty good, my brother and I joined the Rocky Club, where James was already a member. James and I still share the enjoyment of the game and continue to compete in weekly social and fixture competitions and represent Rocky at various tournaments. Agnes was an avid letter writer, keeping in touch with many friends and family, and that's how she kept in touch with me until last year when her health started to decline. These letters often included photos from a recent trip, her newest crochet pieces, and always results from her recent table tennis matches. I always got a warm feeling when I went to the letterbox and there was an envelope with a stamp and Agnes's handwriting on the front. During the 70s, I would come and visit my aunt and uncle in the school holidays when they had a hobby farm at Upper Coomera. Several nights we would travel into town to play tennis or table tennis. I remember playing against some of the other founding members like Sam Binstead and Don Newcomb, and we would play in the rumpus room or the garage under the house. I have vivid memories of those trips at night, riding in the back of Barry's old Land Rover, bouncing on the hard seats, facing into the middle and looking out the back window into the darkness. And Brett's nodding over there. He's done that too. Since the passing of Barry, Agnes has made annual visits to Rocky, and there was one thing she quite often brought with her, her table tennis bat. She looked forward to coming along to our fixture nights to catch up with her friends at our club and watch James and I play, celebrating our wins and commiserating our losses. It didn't matter how late we finished, she still insisted to have a hit with me. Knowing that she doesn't like those soft games, I made sure we had a good hit, as she would say. With her advancing years, I appreciated more and more these opportunities to play with her. James and I have returned the favour by visiting the Gold Coast Club for quite a few years now, supporting Agnes in her matches and meeting her table tennis family. We have also been warmly welcomed by these Friday morning social players, and I'm sure the friendly atmosphere here is a testament to her spirit of the game. Finally, I would like to share with you part of one of those treasured letters. It is dated the 10th of April 1986, the week before our wedding. So all my letters start, "Dear Linda," just a few lines this time, the last to you is Linda Stewart. That sounds sad to me, but to you, I know it will be the beginning of a whole new life and a world of happiness. My wedding wish to you and James is for a life filled with happiness, joy, good health, and everything else you could wish for yourselves. It seems that Agnes's wish came true, as we are both here today, proud to be carrying on the table tennis tradition, and like all of you, we will continue to be inspired by the passion and dedication of dear Agnes. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Linda. Okay, now I had a story about Agnes driving alongside her. I think Agnes got her licence well into her 60s, is that right? Pretty much. Anyway, we had an opportunity to go to a big youth club and take a couple of tables over there and set up and show the kids in the youth club how to play the basics of the game and all that sort of thing. So anyway, I ended up with Agnes for the first time. She was the driver in the big Pajero with the great big bull bar out the front of it. And as we went around the corner, the bull bar seemed to swing over on the other side of the road, you know. And I was, oh, we'll be all right. And then we're driving along and Agnes says to me, "Mick, do you know what this big purple light is on the dashboard?" I said, "Oh, that's the high beam, Agnes." "Oh, is it? Oh, I better turn that off." But we made it, we got there. Now I'd like to invite anyone else who would like to say a few words. You're welcome to come forward, if anyone would like to come up. Nolene? Nolene from the South Tweed Club.
I didn't come prepared today to say anything. But Agnes and I had lots of, what can I say, friendly but full-on games of table tennis. We played a lot of five-setters, and I reminded her of that when I saw her in the hospital a week before she died, and we had a good laugh about that. But I would like to say on behalf of the South Tweed Club, Agnes has been a very good friend to all of us, not only the Gold Coast Club. She's made us welcome when we've come up here, as everybody has, and I just hope Agnes is up there playing table tennis in heaven and organising all the ones that have gone before her, because I know they've all been waiting for her. Thank you, Agnes.
Is there anyone else who'd like to come forward? Gina?
Wow. I think I just feel that I'm so privileged to get to know and being close to Agnes in a short time that I've been here in this club. Must have been just over 6 years I've been in this club. And when I was been playing in the competition, and I started at South Tweed, then I came here. And I just have to say this because she was my inspiration, you know, and I was told that I needed training because I was letting the team down. Wow. And I was playing in the competition at the time. And you know what? I was thinking about the opposition actually, and I thought, now if I just walk off the court, it's not good, so I better just put up with it and finish the game. You know that? But I tell you, I'll never forget that. Letting the team down, I need training. Well, what happened? I asked Agnes, do I need training, Agnes? She said, no, just keep playing and just keep going the way you are. And you know what? Well, I was visiting her at the hospital, and it's a funny thing, she came up with it. And she said, I remember you, Gina. You asked me about if I needed training. I said, and she was so proud that I was still here. I love her to bits, and she was so close in a short time that we were together. And I know that she's with me now. So privileged to know her in a short time. Anyway, I'm just saying that don't give up table tennis, just keep playing. Love you guys.
Thank you, Gina. Is there anyone else who'd like to say something? Come forth.
We all have a mother in life, but to have two mothers is an incredible thing. The moment anyone walked into the club, Agnes would be sitting there to greet you. How was your day? How's your mum? How's your week been? And you couldn't help but be just so appreciative of the thought she had for every single person. She cared about every single one of us, no matter whether you saw her a month ago or it was yesterday. She still cared. She could even be sitting there crocheting, and you sneak past to the toilet. She's like, hey, how you going? I better sit down. I'm good, thanks, Agnes. So what's been happening? It's like, yeah. She was the most amazing lady, and I saw the love that all of you here had for Agnes. It was just undeniable. She was like a love magnet, and we all respected her so much, to the fact where Jessie Wilson and I, as soon as she would walk into the club, we would distract each other to be the first person to jump the barriers, almost crash, and give her the first hug. And so I would throw the ball and go, Jessie, grab that. And then I'd run and jump. Then he'd do the same to me next week. And so, because we just wanted to be there because we wanted to support her the way she supported all of us. She was an energetic person, a lovely lady, cared about everybody. And I don't know if I'll actually ever meet anybody else like her. But because of her welcoming spirit, all of us crew, and I know a lot of you do too, but the moment we see somebody walk into the club who hasn't been here before, it's their first time, we sit out the front there and, hey, how are you? What's your name? What are you doing here? Come on inside, it's a great place, it's a big family in there. And that's how we want everybody to feel to continue Agnes's legacy of welcoming and loving everybody. So thank you, Agnes, I love you.
Thank you, Andy. Have we got anyone else who would like to say a few words? Ethan, welcome.
Quite stage fright, as I probably look at. But Agnes was my grandma. and I was the only grandson, so I was the favourite. I just wanted to get up here and thank the whole club for holding this today and allowing us to honour her and send her off so wonderfully. It's so amazing to see everyone here to honour her and celebrate her life, everything that she's done. And not just that, but everything over the years. And everyone at the club, just want to honour all you guys too, because you guys are just as much her family as we are. So thank you everyone.
Thank you, Ethan. Robert Matheson was going to say a few words, but he's a bit crook today. So, but the main message in what he wanted to say was that this club wouldn't exist without Agnes. That's what he felt anyway. All the hard work, all the volunteering work, all the things she showed us by example, how to run a club, how to be involved, and how to volunteer ourselves. So thanks for that, Robert. Okay, so in conclusion, on behalf of Jill and Ethan, I'd like to thank everyone for coming along today to celebrate Agnes's well-lived life. Many thanks to Somerville Funerals for their service arrangements and to the club members assisting with the memorial organisation, especially Lucas Kozak. In lieu of flowers, Agnes' wishes were to please make a donation to the Agnes Foundation in the envelope provided by FPOS at the centre or by direct deposit payment, which is available. All proceeds going towards club development. Details are on the club website, Agnes Foundation page. Thank you. Now you're all invited to stay and join the family for light refreshments, where we can continue to share with friends the life of Agnes Herbertson. Rest in peace. We've got a closing song now with some another slideshow. Thank you.
Say goodbye, my own true lover, as we sing a lover's song. How it breaks my heart to leave you. Now the carnival is gone. High above, the dawn is waking, and my tears are falling rain. For the carnival is over, we may never meet again. Like a drum, my heart was beating, and your kiss was sweet as wine. But the joys of love are fleeting, for Pierrot and Columbine. Now the harbor light is calling. This will be our last goodbye. Though the carnival is over,
some glad morning when this life is o'er, I'll fly away to a home on God's celestial shore. I'll fly away. Oh, I'll fly away, oh glory, I'll fly away. When I die, hallelujah, by and by, I'll fly away. When the shadows of this life have grown, I'll fly away. Like a bird from prison bars have flown, I'll fly away. Oh, I'll fly away, oh glory, I'll fly away. When I die, hallelujah, by and by, I'll fly away. Just a few more weary days and then I'll fly away to a land where joy shall never end. I'll fly away. Oh, I'll fly away, oh glory, I'll fly away. When I die, hallelujah, by and by, I'll fly away. Oh, I'll fly away, oh glory, I'll fly away. tears are falling rain, for the carnival is over. We may never meet again.
Like a drum, my heart was beating, and your kiss was sweet as wine.
But the joys of love are fleeting, for Pierrot and Columbine. Now the harbor light is calling. This will be our last goodbye, though the carnival is over. I will love
till I
Some glad morning when this life is o'er, I'll fly away to a home on God's celestial shore. I'll fly away. Oh, I'll fly away, oh glory, I'll fly away. When I die, hallelujah, by and by, I'll fly away. When the shadows of this life have grown, I'll fly away. Like the bird from prison bars have flown, I'll fly away. Oh, I'll fly away, oh glory, I'll fly away. When I die, hallelujah, by and by, I'll fly away. Just a few more weary days and then I'll fly away to a land where joy shall never end. I'll fly away. Oh, I'll fly away, oh glory, I'll fly away. When I die, hallelujah, by and by, I'll fly away. Oh, I'll fly away, oh glory, I'll fly away. When I die, hallelujah, by and by, I'll fly away.
say goodbye, my own true lover, as we sing a lover song. How it breaks my heart to leave you. Now the carnival is gone. High above, the dawn is waking, and my tears